Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down an absolute modern classic from the Africa Cup of Nations. Seriously, this one's got it all. A champion team that looked completely unbeatable, an underdog that just would not quit, and a nail-biting finish that had everybody on the edge of their seats. So let's dive right into this epic clash. In one corner, you've got the Elephants of Ivory Coast, the reigning champs, and they're on an absolute tear. And in the other corner, the Stallions of Burkina Faso, just hungry for a giant upset. I mean, this is what tournament football is all about, right? Okay, so that first half, it was nothing short of a masterclass from Ivory Coast. They came out of the gates with this unbelievable intensity. You could just tell they wanted to put this game to bed early. And right from the first whistle, one specific matchup really set the tone. Ivory Coast's star attacker, Ahmad, was just electric. He was running right at his defender, Adam Ngallo, every single chance he got. It forced Ngallo into this desperate early challenge, gets him a yellow card, and suddenly he's walking a tightrope for the rest of the match. And it wasn't just a one-man show. The chemistry between the captain, Franck Kessié, and Ahmad was something else. They were constantly slicing through the Burkina Faso defense with their smart runs and quick passes. It was creating chance after chance, and you could feel the immense pressure building. And well, you knew it was coming. After 30 minutes of just relentless attack, the breakthrough finally arrived. The champions were on the board, a totally deserved lead. And who else? Of course, it was the captain, Kessié, who got the goal. The commentator absolutely nailed it. Kessié was putting his stamp all over this tournament, delivering yet again on the biggest stage. Then, just before halftime, Ivory Coast makes it 2 with a goal that was just pure poetry in motion. It was tactically brilliant. Okay, so watch this. First, Ahmad makes this blistering run that just pulls the defenders out of position. This opens up a massive gap. Yanto Sent sees it, drifts into the space, and just bends this beautiful strike right into the net. Just pure class. So when that halftime whistle blew, that line from the commentator said it all. At 2-0, Ivory Coast was in total command. And honestly, it really looked like this one was over. But then came the second half, and wow, what a shift. Even though they were 2 goals down, Burkina Faso came out of the locker room fighting. They were not about to let their tournament dream just fade away. The second half pretty much turned into a showdown between the 2 goalkeepers. At one end, Ivory Coast's Chris Ina had to make a really sharp save just to prove he was still locked in. But at the other end, my goodness, Burkina Faso's Fofana was spectacular. He pulled off a fantastic reaction save and then later made this incredible stop to deny Ahmad. He was almost single-handedly keeping his team in the game. And get this for a stat. Even though it felt like Ivory Coast was completely dominating, the shots on target in the second half were actually even, 2 apiece. The Stallions were creating real quality chances. The only thing that was really separating these 2 teams was how lethal Ivory Coast had been with their finishing early on. So as the clock started winding down, we entered the final dramatic act of this match. Just when everything seemed settled, one moment of pure individual brilliance just changed the entire mood in the stadium. Burkina Faso launches this desperate counterattack. But honestly, it looks like it's going nowhere. Their attacker, Bassana, gets the ball and he is immediately surrounded by 4 Ivorian defenders. You're thinking, okay, the chance is gone. But then Bassana produces something out of nothing. He just keeps going, and instead of trying to dribble through everyone, he does something so smart. He catches the keeper completely off guard with this quick, clever shot to the near post. It was an absolutely beautiful finish, completely against the odds. And just like that, it's 2-1. With only minutes left to play, a match that looked totally finished was suddenly on a knife's edge. What a frantic finish we had on our hands. In the end, though, the champions showed their class and their experience. They managed those final few minutes perfectly, held on to that narrow lead, and walked away with a super hard-fought victory. And what's the prize for getting through that battle? Oh, just a blockbuster quarterfinal showdown with another absolute giant of African football, Egypt. Now that is a match you are not going to want to miss. So it all leaves you with one big question, doesn't it? After a performance like this, where they showed they can win with both breathtaking skill and pure grit, can anyone actually stop the Elephants on their path to back-to-back glory? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.